Tendo is never been a morning person. He loves to sleep all day, during school breaks, and stay up all night to watch a new anime. Actually, to watch all the first season of an anime that he just started. Sometimes, when the story is not good, and he can't be a simp for characters, he just stop the episode and search for some manga. When the manga and the anime don't satisfy him, he tries his cooking. He spend all the night with hands covered by dough and chocolate. However, for a reason or another, Tendo is used to sleepless night and dark bangs under his eyes. Never before, though, this caused him to be too late to leave his hair down. Neither his team had seen him in this look. He's used to be the last to leave, because he always takes his time when he has to shower, he sings, he clean his skin carefully, and he simply doesn't want to show his body to others. Sure, in some cases, his teammates saw him with wet hair, but it's not the same. They've never been totally down. He doesn't really have time to think about it, though, because he's late and have to run till the gym, fastest as ever. Damn, he almost fall with his face against the floor when he enters the room. Satori is here. All the eyes are on him and he feels the urge to run away. Too much, he's not used to be looked at. At least, not without mean comments or mocking looks. What? His voice almost betrays him, but his cat-like smirk is always on his face. You look hot as hell, man. The comment takes Satori by surprise, enough to make him tilt his head. Is Semi making fun of him? He's right. Your hair are fine today. His hair? Tendo is frowning. The run woke him up, but he's still not full awake. Wow, the enthusiasm in Goshiki's voice make him jump back like a scared cat ready to blow. You're amazing. I wanna be fine as you. How did you do that? Are they natural? Probably his face is betraying him enough to make Rayon show him himself, thanks to the front camera of his phone. His hair are down, in their natural style, red waves falling delicately on his face, contouring it. They seems fluff, a cloud of long red hair. Oh, I was late, I'm sorry. He passes his finger through the locks, pulling them back before letting the hair fall on his face again. He can still feels the eyes on him, all the attention on him, but this time feels different. He feels appreciated and a warm sensation rise in his chest. Wakatoshi observes the scene, in the corner. His eyes never leave the figure of Tendo, his whole being. Only when the team is surrounding him, he clear his throat, putting them in order. Practice, we're already late. The team yell a yes. Ushiten and Satori takes his spot beside the boy. Sorry, he mouths to the ace, who nods to him. It's all okay, that's what he said, and Satori smiles satisfied. I'll stop all of your spikes, suckers. Be ready. Tendo's hair, and his person in general, took attention of a lot of people. Other than his team. He also received a confession that make him blush and blabbering skinist excuse, ending up to an if I were straight, I've totally had a crush on you. Sorry. That's how much he's not used to, a lot if someone asks him. The girl shrugged, a little smile. She complimented him another time and left. Someone is popular. It's Semi's comment, who's grinning in his direction. On his right side, Shirabu is resting his head on his shoulder. They looks at you a lot, he says again. Tendo shrugs. It's not like he didn't notice, and takes a sit beside Wakatoshi. The captain gives him a side glance, but he stay in silence, not that it's an unusual thing. The red-haired boy hit Ushijima's right knee with his left, receiving a little hidden response which makes him smile. Goshiki finally swallows his food, the mouth a little dirty. Tendo-san have always eyes on him. The sparkles in his koi's eyes makes him wanna smile, a wave of fondness. He laughs, instead, messily leaning against his best friend. Because I'm the guess monster. He marks the word monster, and he can feel Ushijima tenses against his body. Shirabu closes his eyes, already uninterested in this conversation, and Semi is too taken by cuddling him that he get distracted. Rayon observes Ushijima, they exchange a pair of looks, and Goshiki pouts. A child comments, Kawanishi, making him growls. I'm just disappointed, that's it. Tendo shakes his head, the plate putted aside because not hungry. Eat, don't think about. And he turns a little to talk with Ushijima, about the last chapter of a series that both of them are reading, but he's excusing himself. Leaving, in this way, the table, and a confused Satori. Ushijima continues to excuse himself, leaving as fast as possible. Tendo's side making him feel disappointed. At first, he was just confused. He's not used to not understand the other, and his attitude makes him want to know more. After a while, though, the actions start to hurt him. Little by little he started to feel refused by his own best friend, the person he would put before everyone else. Hello hello hello. Tendu enters the gym, a big smile and his now usual hair, locks on his face, red and softer than the previous day. Probably because of the absence of every type of gel since days. Ushijima looks at him for a moment, their gazes interlock before the captain looks away. You got used to this look. Semi notices, by his side Shirobue who just nods agreeing with the other. Tendu gives him a smirk, not one of his best but still a teasing one. You should change your look too, Semi. Maybe throw away all your clothes. Semi shows his middle fingers, in response Tendu stick his tongue out. Kawanishi snorts, half amused, while Shirobue just ignores them. As always, he isn't really interested. Goshiki, on the other side, observes all of their moves with sparkles in his eyes. Rayon, though, is the one to put everyone on their spot. Guys, it's enough to receive one collective sorry and to start practice. The captain still saying nothing. More than once, Tendu tries to have his attention having nothing as a result. Wakatashi-kun, he tries again, taking a step in his direction. Also this time, though, doesn't end well. Goshiki takes Ushijima's attention. A bad sensation, then, hits Tendu on the chest. A suddenly sickness makes him leave practice as soon as he can. Tendu. He hears his teammates yell his name but he's going too far to hear other things. After that moment, Tendu refused to show up at practice. He's not the one to skip practice but he can't really face the other, not after running away the previous day. On his bat, he starts to play with his fingers nervous. He can still feel the bad sensation, at the thought of being ignored by the most important person to him. He bites his lips, hard enough to make them appear white and almost feeling the taste of blood. He releases his grab on his poor lips, taking his head between his hands. Do you hate me? He whispers, feeling the eye becoming teary, the throat starting to hurt. Am I not pretty enough? But he can't really think about it because loud knocks take him away from himself. He looks at the door of his room, thinking about what he should do but the person behind knock again. He sighs, dragging himself to the door and opening it slowly. Wakatoshi. He whispers softly, eyes on his figure. On his spot, the A seems worried. The stoic expression contorted into something different than usual. Can I come in? Tendu nods, moving aside and letting the boy coming in. The door closed behind him and an uncomfortable silence. The middle blocker wets his bottom lip, hands in his pockets. How or why? I'm sorry. Ushijima interrupt him for the first time, taking him by surprise. What? I said I'm sorry. I hurt you? Tendu's mouth is closed in a thin line, he doesn't know what to say. For the first time, in his entire life, he has no words. He just gulps, waiting for something else. Can we sit down? The owner of the room nods, guiding him to the bed. Again the silence fills the walls, in a less uncomfortable way. I like your hair. Tendu looks at him in shock, because he doesn't understand why he's saying something like this now. Because he doesn't understand what he's thinking. For the first time, someone is a complete mystery to him. Then why? He find the courage to say, why did you avoid me? You did for yourself? You choose to style your hair like this because of your taste, he asks, instead, making Satoru frowning. Of course he did because he likes them down. Didn't he? He doesn't know how to answer, again, and he doesn't like this type of sensation. I'm sorry if I was rude, I'm sorry if I hurt you but I didn't know who I was looking at. At me, Wakatoshi. Satoru, the guess monster, the loud one. Stop saying things that hurt you, stop saying that stupid nickname. It's not fun, it's not cute. Satoru can see the way his eyebrows are furrowing. In an irritated expression, Ushijima takes a breath. A long one. I'm not good with feelings, Satoru, and you know this. The boy nods, he knows, and I was really glad when people started to compliment you but it wasn't you. It was like you did it for others, that's the reason why I get distant. I wanted my best fu back. Ushijima shifts a little on the bed, on hand on top of Tendu's and the other to cup his cheek. He looks at him, straight into his eyes. A faint blush colors Satoru's cheeks. The sounds of his heartbeat in his own ears, louder and louder. Ushijima's thumb passes on his skin, in a gentle touch which is more than a million of words. Furthermore if it's accompanied by his look. I like your hair, down and not he repeat, continuing with his actions. Tendo moves his hand to interlock their fingers and Ushijima doesn't complain. Instead he offers him a warm and little smile. But, it's not you, and I think you're prettier with your hair styled as always. It's what define who you are, it mirrors your personality. Now, you're just hiding. Tendo force a laugh, his heart beating too fast and the head spinning because of the moment. Too much sensations, he feels overwhelmed. It sounds like you have a crush on me, Toshi. He crack a smile, waiting for the deny of his sentence. Instead, he observes the way Ushijima's face heat up. Because I do like you, Satori. Tendo's mouth fell open, in surprise. The cheeks of both of them warm because of the blush, fingers interlocked and the hand on his cheek that doesn't go away. You do. Ushijima nods, firmly, making the other giggle. It's so much a Ushijima's thing. Actually I love you, as you are. With your crazy hair and your oddities. And I like seeing you happy. I love the idea of people appreciate you because you're amazing. Still, a little part of me doesn't enjoy when they compliment you too much. Can I kiss you? If Tendo doesn't have word, he still has the audacity to ask something like this. To show him that, yes, he loves him too, yes, he took all of the words from his mouth and he's never been more happy to don't know what to say. In the moment in which he see Ushijima nod, Satori put his lips on his. Slowly, not wanting to destroy the moment. Neither of them are great kisser and with a lot of possibilities it's their first kiss, too, but it's exactly how they fantasized about it. A brush of lips, in the beginning, that becomes a clumsy makeout session, too much spit and some clash of teeth but still pleasant. Tendo dares to take Ushijima's bottom lip between his teeth, sucking the soft part. In return, Wakatoshi whines heavily, the hand finally going from the cheek to the back of his neck, pulling him closer. Releasing the lip, Tendo finds the perfect occasion to find the other's tongue. The ace reciprocate the action without hesitation, making the other smile, in the kiss. In the end, they separate from each other to breath again. In case you didn't get it, I love you too, Toshi. Ushijima rests his forehead against the other's. I'm glad. And Tendo laughs loudly, it's such a Wakatoshi's thing. The next day, he enters his gym with his usual energy. You have your hair up, again Semi points out, in a very obvious way. Yep, Tendo pops the pea in an excited way. Eyes on the ace, also if he's talking with his friend. You know, I kinda missed them. Yeah, me too, and the middle blocker smiles widely. He feels great, he feels himself and he feels loved, and it's more than enough for him.